at that time. Now kids get their ears pierced when they're 6 months old, boys. But I remember going into the restroom, and Johnny, where's Johnny? Hey, Johnny, how are you? Give it up for one of my guitar gurus, John Muller, right here. So Johnny's in the bathroom, there was a lot of greasers. My school was made up of a lot of psychos from Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, really. Even though I moved out of the Bronx to this little country town, but everybody else moved up there. What is that noise? So I went into, I always was getting fucked with, but I never let them. The more I got fucked with, the more wild looking I got. My mother, I grew up, my mother was my mother and dad, I didn't have a father. But then when she married, she went to England on her honeymoon, brought me back all these clothes from Carnaby Street, wild clothes. So, anyway, I remember going into the restroom, and I'm at the urinal, and this guy, 2 or 3 years older than me, hair slicked back, but just hated, he was from another time. And he said something about my mother. And I said to him, I don't have a mother. Me and my father share yours. Oh. That guy looked at me and he goes, you little fuck. And he took off after me. And he beat me up pretty good. But I still said it to him. He put my mother down. I go, I don't have a mother. Me and my father share yours. Song by a guy who I wasn't even alive when he passed away at 21 in London in a car crash, but he was from Wisconsin. And super cool, because he wrote great songs like Something Else and Summertime Blues and 20 Flight Rock. But this is a song called My Way. A little politically incorrect these days, but I've always been politically incorrect. Like Don Rickles, they used to say to Don, Don, you can't say that about Irish people and Puerto Rican people. And he says, hey, I'm 85 years old. Well, would you expect me to stop now? This is a song by Eddie Cochran. It's called My Way, because I'm an easygoing guy, but I always gotta have my way.
One more thing I gotta say.
Johnny.
Open your jacket up.
What's that?
Open your jacket up. Back around 1971, we both went to Carmel High School. I was considerably older. And my band put on a rock concert in the auditorium. And guess who the other band was? Godzilla. And guess who the lead guitar player was?
I was trying.
Steve Scarlett.
First time I ever went to Japan many years ago, I didn't know how to speak Japanese, and those fans are talking to me in Japanese. I said, the only thing I know in Japanese, the only word I know is, oh, Godzilla. Let's go out tonight. Tell your mama not to worry. Everything gonna be alright. The one I hear is awesome. You need it when I call. I do not well, you won't be done at all. You better hear what I say. I'm an easygoing guy, but I always gotta have my way. Now I was born a tiger, and no one gonna change me each and every other way. When I say frog keep shut, cause a woman ain't been born yet that can believe she's Scarlet for a joke. Oh, you gotta hear what I say. Cause I'm an easygoing guy, but I always listen, John Muller. ladies and gentlemen. We got a couple songs left. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. I'm doing a little instrumental that I've never played. It's one of those hard instrumentals. I have to really look at the neck. See, if I have to think what I'm doing when I play music, I suck. But hopefully I don't have to think too much. Dan Ray was just gonna come up here. We're gonna end the show. But right now we're gonna do a little instrumental. What's the name of the song? Louis, I don't know. Louis wrote this tune. Deep Down. Okay, here we go. Deep Down. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be hopefully saying later on.